So the next one is total BMI abundance, and this is used in the Southeast only. And this is based on abundance of BMI only. This is no richness involved in this. You're going to use the same sample that was collected for the BMI score, since the BMI score is also used in the Southeast. And here we have, again, scoring between 0 and 3. 0 or absent is total abundance of benthic macroinvertebrates is 0. 1 weak total abundance is greater than or equal to 1, but less than or equal to 10. 2 moderate is total abundance is greater than or equal to 11, but less than or equal to 32. And here's where that 33 number comes in. 3 strong total abundance is greater than or equal to 33. So if you've reached 33 in your Cali, then you can stop because you are a 3. And versions of this metric were also used in the beta SDAMs for the arid west and the western mountains. All right, the next indicator is a northeast only indicator. It is percent shading. For this metric, you're going to use a modified convex spherical densiometer to estimate stream shading. And it's going to be modified as shown there. I'll get into that also the next slide as well. The extent of shading represented by the number of line intersections between 0 and 17 in the V shown in the photo that is obscured by objects that block sunlight from the stream. This can include vegetation or buildings. You would be taking 4 readings at 3 locations for a total of 12 readings. The percent shading is determined by summing all the readings and divided by the maximum possible, which is 204. So shown here, you're going to use some tape to modify the densiometer. Readings should be taken about a foot above the water surface or dry stream bed with the V oriented towards the observer. The densiometer must be level to get an accurate reading. You'll show here the example to the right. This shows how to modify the densiometer, but also notice that this bubble is not level, making any reading incorrect. And then in B, 9 out of the 17 intersections in the V are obscured. And so that would be, your reading would be 9. If expression of the deciduous woody vegetation is only partial or absent, you would count all the grid intersections that lie within the branches or the vegetation's zone of influence in the V. And then on the field form, you have your 3 different locations, the upper part of the reach, the middle, and then the end of the reach at the bottom level, downstream level. And here you record all your readings, and then you get your sum, and then you get your percent down here. This is also used in the beta SDAM for the Great Plains. Okay, the next is the absence of rooted upland plants in stream bed. This is in both regions, or used for both regions. So in our application, as Brian mentioned before, an upland plant, it's a species with a National Wetland Plant List indicator, a FAC, FAC up or upland, or those that have no indicator or NI. And then in the National Wetland Plant List, those are only vascular plants. So if you have like a moss, that's not a club moss. It's not going to be in the National Wetland Plant List, but if you can't find it, you wouldn't give it no indicator, it just wouldn't count. So vascular plants only. The Northeast region encompasses parts of 4 National Wetland Plant List regions. That's the North Central Northeast, Eastern Mountains of Piedmont, Midwest, and Atlantic and Gulf Coastal Plain, as shown there. The Southeast region includes Great Plains, the Eastern Mountains of Piedmont, and the Atlantic Gulf and Coastal Plain. The plants must be rooted, upland plants must be rooted anywhere in the channel. Plants rooted in the bank don't count, including those that may extend over the channel. This would be evaluated along the full length of the assessment reach. And sometimes you want to get a idea of what upland plants you might expect. At least the Corridor District common plant lists are pretty helpful. These include both wetland and upland species. As I found here, I think this one from the Buffalo District has, this is an excerpt that's got club moss, horsetails, and some ferns on it. Good idea. And then if there are some lists for nearby public lands, sometimes those are available to use, or state native plant societies may have good resources as well. So this indicator is based on a visual estimate of upland plant abundance and distribution within the stream bed, and is scored on an ordinal scale between 0 and 3, where half scores are allowed. The scoring guidance here is derived from the existing SDAM that is used in North Carolina. That is separate from this effort. It's just an existing SDAM used in North Carolina. So all the photos you're going to see here were taken from some of our sampling sites that scored the appropriate score. So here we have poor or absent. So that doesn't mean that there's no upland plants. It basically means it is a poor indicator of perennial flow if you have a lot of upland plants growing in your channel. So in this case, if rooted upland plants are prevalent within the stream bed, it would rate it as poor or absent, which is 0. In this case, there was a bunch of Microstegium viminum, the Japanese stilt grass that is FAC, that is prevalent within this stream bed. So I think we call it absent here. And then a weak score, a 1 score, rooted upland plants are consistently dispersed throughout the stream bed. In this case, this is Cunula organoides, which is common dittany. This has no indicator. It was widely dispersed throughout the stream bed. I've kind of tried to call it out. It's just hard to see. This right here would probably not count because it was probably rooted in the bank, but I think there was enough of it growing in the channel that was given a 1. So for a moderate score, which is a 2, few uprooted upland plants are present within the stream bed. In this example, there was a few Lapertia canadensis wood nettle, which is FAC in this region in the stream bed. So I know in some of the regions that wood nettle is actually a FAC wet, but in this region, I can't remember which one it is. It was actually FAC. That's something to look out for too. Some indicators change for certain species across national wetland plant regions. And then here we have this scored a 3. Rooted upland plants are absent within the stream bed. So in this case, we see a bunch of plants growing in here, but in this case, the only rooted plants growing there are hydrophytes, which is water willow or Justicia americana. So that was a 3. Let's see. So here's the same guidance that I showed on the previous slides. And half scores are okay. I think I said that before. But some photos here that are recommended is taking photos of what's growing in the channel and then maybe the upland vegetation, or any differences, or if you're unsure of an ID, it's useful to take photos. The beta SDAM for the Great Plains used this indicator as well. The beta SDAM for the Western Mountains has a related indicator that compared vegetation between like the riparian corridor and the surrounding uplands. So similar but different.